Welcome to Let Her Finish podcast. Sabrina, what do you think about our Let Her Finish name for our podcast?
I actually like it.
Yeah?
You know, at first I heard it and I was like, I could deal with this. I like it.
Yeah. You guys, are we set on the name?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
I like it.
Can it go both ways, or what is your impression about it? Because I know a lot of people teasing us about the name, but
Up to the viewers. Up to the viewers.
Yeah, it's your own interpretation. And I feel like it's ideal because it's like, just let her finish speak. Let her finish say what she has to say.
I agree. Because usually we are cut off, right?
Let her finish however you want to take it.
Okay, good. So we're gonna jump right in. I don't know if you guys saw the Netflix original movie Nappily Ever After, but it's a huge hit now, and it's online, and everybody's raving about it. I don't know what your opinion is about it, Aishira.
Well, I watched piece of it. I didn't watch the whole
Yeah.
thing, so I
Watch
still
the
have to read.
trailer.
Yeah, I gotta watch the
love that
ending.
counts.
I
Still.
watched it
Yeah.
and I loved it, you know, but that's just one word to describe it because of certain elements. But I mean, you could dissect the movie so many different ways. You know, the concept of having to go through, you know, relaxing your hair or iron combing your hair, I could definitely relate to that.
Yeah.
So, you know,
I feel like she was doing a lot though. Like
Yeah.
in terms of always keeping up this image and stuff, I feel like not everybody is.
Exactly.
I think that stemmed from a lot of pressure that her mom put on
Yeah.
her to
Yeah.
kind of keep up this perfect
Yeah.
image of what she should look like. And there was like scenes in the movie where like she would go in the bathroom before her boyfriend wakes up
Yeah,
and like
exactly.
fix up herself. And
That
then-
was
That
too
is actually a
much.
scene that happens in a lot of movies. I don't know if you've always
Yeah,
seen it.
yeah,
They
it's
always
true.
say when, you know, girls start dating the
Yeah,
first
they
time,
wanna be
or I don't know how long they keep it up, that they always need to go into the bathroom, fix themselves up before, and you know, because they can't be seen when
Seen.
they're
But there's
doing
like
makeup or-
Oh, they're-
flawless, like,
yeah.
like, like
Is
the
that
Exactly.
real? Like people are just
Really
go in
do
the
that?
bath-
I don't know.
before
I
the
don't
I
bath-
don't know.
I don't know.
I feel like that's a lot of work.
Yeah.
I don't think I would make it to it.
No, me
No.
either. Like, it's
No.
either you
Just
take
catch
it or
up
you
to
leave
catch
it.
But if
Like-
you've seen it in movies a lot, I mean,
I feel like I've seen it a lot for
unless
real.
it's maybe like, I don't know if these are being produced by men.
No,
or
but
they
if
think
you
that
see it
that's
in a
something
movie
that
a
we
lot,
do.
it must be like
Some kind of truth to it.
Yeah,
yeah.
There must be. I mean, we could relate to trying to do certain things.
Right.
You know, you don't want to, you know, fight in front of the guy. You don't want to do that the first
Yeah.
time. I mean, I could relate to some things.
But wake
I'm-
up to flat iron your hair
Yeah.
in the morning. That's something
But
like. That's
she
something
thought
like
she
a
was
lot of
gonna get proposed to
Yeah,
that day. You know,
yeah,
so
yeah.
and
That's
it was
true.
her birthday, and her mom
Yeah.
came
Yeah.
also, and you know, people were like, "Yeah, but is that relevant now?" So
Yeah,
What's
because for
the-
me, if like you just have to relax your hair, then if you're going to flat iron every day, like
Yeah.
But then
Just
you want
relax
it to
it,
maybe
yeah.
look neat again for that day. I don't know.
no, but when you relax it, it's straight, and you don't when it get wet, it's not
And-
all puffy and stuff like that. So that part was kind of strange to me because if you feel like your hair always needs to be straight,
Yeah.
then why don't
Yeah,
you just
exactly.
relax it?
And you know, spoiler alert, I don't want to, but I'm
Yeah,
gonna
'cause I
say it
didn't
because
watch
we're
the
talking
end.
about it now. Wait, so you
You
don't
didn't
want me
watch
to
the
say
end?
it?
No,
You don't
I
want me to
don't. I
say
fell
it?
asleep.
we
I fell
gotta talk
asleep.
about
And
it.
you
We're
watch
not talking
Netflix
about the
movies,
So
movie.
you don't-
you just sit,
I
watch
fell
1.5
asleep.
and then-
Hello, I was sleeping.
Well, sorry, Sabrina, but we're gonna have to like continue discussing it because one specific part of the movie is after she thought that he was gonna propose to her, he ended up buying her a dog for her birthday. She was highly upset, and
Oh, yeah. I watched that part. I watched
he
that part.
explained himself, and he said like being with you for the past 2 years is like I feel like I've been on like 1
The first
2 years
date,
worth
yeah.
of first dates. So meaning that she wasn't her authentic self,
Yeah.
and she
Never
was like.
relaxed.
No,
But
she
then,
never
funny
relaxed.
story is, towards the end of the movie, they end up getting back together, and when he
For real?
wanted, when he
I saw the
wanted her,
description that he was dating another woman.
yeah, but when he wanted her,
Drama.
he wanted her to meet his parents, and at that point, she had shaved off her hair, and her hair was natural. He told her, he looked at her, and he said, "Before you meet my parents, can you do something with your hair?"
Oh,
You know?
I didn't see that part.
Yeah.
Okay, I want to say something, but then I sound too.
No, say
No,
it,
say it.
because we probably
Men.
feel
You know, they don't
men.
even know what they want. You
No.
want it to be natural, but natural how you,
You want
it
it to be natural.
Like long
Exactly.
hair, European looking natural.
And I was too uptight for you in the beginning, and now you want me to all of a sudden, now that I let my hair down and I am my authentic self, you want
me to be somebody
To be
else.
somebody else, what
Yeah,
to please
that's
your
nonsense.
parents?
Yes, yes. So then,
So wait, how was the end? Did they get this
She
together?
doesn't end
No.
up with him.
No, she doesn't
Okay.
end up with him.
Actually, she
Okay.
doesn't end up with
With
nobody
nobody.
technically, which I kind of love because
love that.
all of these movies.
Yeah,
I
you always
feel
have this kinda
I'm messed up
ending.
because of Ali's movie. I probably need therapy for the rest of
Disney
my
movies.
life because you were taught, he's gonna come and
Prince
now you're
Charming.
going to move on and
Yeah.
you have like a 5 children or whatever.
Happily
And
ever
then
after.
finally, she needs to figure out who she
Who
really
she is, okay.
and she is in that movie.
Yeah.
And then doing that. And she
Yeah.
probably have
No,
somebody,
you're right.
but she still need to figure out who she is, which
Yeah.
is fine.
Exactly.
And we need to figure out who we are
Exactly.
before we get
and
with
it's
somebody
okay, and we
else.
need to start telling our children and whoever and even ourselves that it's okay.
Yeah.
And I always use this funny example, like Meghan Markle. She got married at 36. So she's 36.
I didn't know that.
She's
Yeah,
so
she looks good for
she's
it.
36. So what's the rush in like, oh my God, let me try and perfect myself and
Yeah.
show this image that I'm really
Yeah,
not
yeah, yeah.
to attract somebody, because then you're not your authentic self, so you're not attracting somebody authentic.
True.
But I heard some criticism about the movie in terms of its relevance because the natural hair movement is really big right now. So women are more easily going into the natural,
Yeah.
accepting the natural hair, and I saw that, which when I was told, I thought, okay, that makes sense. Like this is kind of a rom-com, but more so for the 90s, it would fit right
Right.
in there. Where now that discussion about whether
Your
or not
natural
you
hair.
have to harass
Yeah.
yourself
But I feel like it's still kind of like that, no?
could be.
A lot of
Yeah.
people
Coming
feel
back
like
to
they need
that,
to relax their hair and
No,
stuff.
because since I feel like the movement is very big, you think like, for instance, girls who do opt for relaxing their hair, if they're now getting a kind of the backlash as to why are you relaxing your hair, like now it's almost the opposite.
Yeah.
So in that
Yeah, and
does that
Kind
happen?
of.
yeah,
But
I think so, and I don't think that is fair.
Yeah.
I think
It's a choice.
natural hair is. The whole movement is supposed to mean that natural hair is just of a good option of
As-
everything.
exactly. So it's just
Yeah.
exactly like how you feel. If you
Yeah.
feel like you want to relax your
Like
hair,
it's a
relax your
personal
hair.
choice,
Yeah,
basically.
exactly.
Yeah.
And if I want, you would allow me to be, to just kind of like pivot into something else. The whole issue on Facebook with the Wendy Fitzwilliam comment that she made during Caribbean Next Top Model. I kind of see that in that context. A
In
little
terms
bit.
of?
In terms of the option.
Sabrina, like in terms of.
Yeah.
She ready.
I
She ready.
No. I just want to know what you mean.
I feel like everybody was trying to. Everybody makes it seem like she's coming down on natural hair, calling it not professional. When I don't think that was the case at all. It just happens so that this girl happens to be against relaxing her hair, but it could have been very well that she was okay with relaxing her
Relaxing
hair.
her
So
hair.
if it's not so
Yeah.
bad and it's a
Yeah.
particular option and it's a challenge,
Yeah.
why are we conflating the
But
two
the thing
issues?
is, I feel like in this day and age, if you feel like for this shoot I need straight hair,
There are
you
other
have
options.
they have options. You have weave, you
Yeah.
have wigs. Why do I need to put
Blow dry.
relaxer in my hair? Because
Yeah.
technically, and somebody who went from relaxer to straight to natural, you need to grow your hair all the way out. So now this girl, 15 years, have her natural hair. She need to start all over
Over.
again. Why?
And-
Whereas you could just
yeah.
braid her hair back,
And
put a
actually-
wig, and she got straight hair. Why?
And I'm not scared to say, but I flipped my opinion about it because last week we had actually discussed this behind the scenes. Thank God the
Yeah.
cameras weren't on because it got very heated. And I was of the opinion that in that industry you should be allowed to ask the model, because if you're aspiring to be a model and you are judged based on your appearance, you should be able to be asked or open to be asked to do anything based on your appearance and not anything that is extreme. But
But
now,
to change your
but now I changed my opinion because after speaking to a friend of mine who is now natural and who doesn't use these chemicals, she talks about how these chemicals are not proven to be cancerous and proven to destroy your scalp, but also the standard of which beauty is held is like and somebody on Instagram used the word white supremacy because the standard at which beauty is held is straight hair.
Yeah.
So why is my hair not accepted and I have to, because has a blonde model been asked to perm her hair curly?
But not only that, I feel
I
like
mean, those-
if you really want a person to have straight
Yeah, there are
hair,
other alternatives
you
that are
could you
less
could flat
more
iron
safe.
it.
But what I find the two issues, if you guys understand me, are being conflated. I don't think that first of all, she never said your natural hair is not professional. That is
I
not
think
what
people
she
have two
said.
different
That's it.
yeah.
And the thing is, they see it as an attack on the natural hair
No.
movement,
Yeah.
and I do not see
See
that.
it, yeah.
While I understand with you that there were different ways probably to do
Yeah.
it, but as relax is kind of the more structural way to do it, because you know, iron combing will come out.
Blow drying.
Blow drying,
texturizing,
yeah. Exactly.
all of those things would come out.
Yeah.
And another thing is, if she had said, well, because the argument was also, well, if she had, tell her ball her hair, do something else crazy, but okay, but if she had ball her hair, that means she would have sat over either with you.
Yeah.
And I just find the job description and the
Yeah.
challenge and how
See,
No,
I
but I
have
feel like
offense
asking
with that.
somebody to change the structure of their hair
hair.
is different to me than saying you're going to dye it also. Even
Or
if they
ball
say,
it.
even if they say to ball it, fine.
that-
but
But
even
then,
it's
because when you grow
unhealthy.
back, it's going to grow back
Isn't
the
it
same
unhealthy
way.
though, in a way?
But
Like,
I
it-
Exactly.
find the unhealthy part.
It's
unsafe.
also
Isn't it
unhealthy how
unsafe?
skinny they are too sometimes.
Okay, we
Yeah.
can have
Yeah.
different discussion, but I find those discussions are kind of like a little bit separate than
Yeah.
one. But
But I
interesting
Yeah.
discussion.
I don't like, as I said, you know, when we were discussing it, when it came to that sort of industry, I didn't really believe that there was one thing that was like that you can say that something is totally right or something is totally
totally wrong. It's
I
great.
think it's like gray and there's a boundary that you want to cross. Because then after, what if you say, okay, the client said, for this photo shoot, I really want like blue eyebrows or something like that. Are you as a client allowed to say, I want to dye your eyebrows blue?
Yeah.
Like, you know?
Or maybe you could
The
just
job
stick
is-
on
the
some
job is-
eyebrows, but that's blue, and you don't need to change it. I feel like your hair, and
Yeah.
that's from me going from relaxer to natural. For one photo shoot, I wouldn't feel like I need to change my
No, but-
whole
Whole
hair
hair
structure
structure.
for one photo
she
shoot.
felt-
Whereas
she
there are
felt-
different
That
options.
comes to the job description, and I don't think it was for one photo
The thing
shoot.
is,
I
but the
think
thing
it was
is,
for the
and the thing, if she felt very passionately about it, like she did, she was like, you know, this
She
is
shouldn't
who
have done
I
it.
am.
Yeah.
Then I
She
find that
shouldn't
have done
she
it.
should have
Yeah.
stood
She
up.
should've
Why
done
did
And
she?
they should
But
continue
look,
doing
look,
it.
she
look, look.
did.
At the
Apparently, I
end,
don't-
but
she
she
did,
did
yeah.
cut her hair off though, and now she's like rocking this kind of
started-
tiny
she
fro
started
and
all
this kind of
over,
stuff
which
because she
is
had to
why,
cut her hair off.
Listen, this was a once in a lifetime issue thing for her.
Opportunity,
Most
yeah.
of the
Yeah.
time, if you watch America's Next Top Model, what her name is, Tyra Banks, actually goes and says, you know, you have long, beautiful hair, but I think the hair is keeping
Distracting
you
you,
back. So you're
yes.
gonna get bald. And she
Yeah.
explains this issue. So you
Yeah.
know when they ask for,
I feel like if they tell her ball or cut her hair, I wouldn't have a
I
problem.
don't see the difference
But
in balling.
what do you mean?
Because just because you
You
have to
wouldn't
start all
you wouldn't
over
have a
any which
problem
way.
if they had asked her to
Yeah,
do
but
it.
the
If
thing
they
is, it's not,
if
it's
they
not
cut
about
her hair
that.
or ball her hair, I wouldn't have mind. But if she is against
But
having the
now
chemicals,
I know what you're against now. You're against basically the idea of
you
say-
telling me I need to put chemicals in my hair, like
Okay,
But
to
that-
change
I
the
need to
structure.
have straight hair for it to like fit some kind of image.
Image.
Or
Yeah.
fit
Yeah.
But I
whatever
don't
the
think-
client
That's what she was
wants.
Yeah, that was
Yeah.
no.
Yeah.
So that's why I think that, you know, it's a good discussion on whether
Why
or
couldn't
not
she be just
chemicals
a
could
model
be
that have
done.
natural hair?
But
Well, because they also
No,
want to
they have
test you
models
in
in
that
natural.
challenge, because you have to look at the objective of the challenge. The objective of the challenge is, if you are faced with a client that wants a certain look,
No.
are you gonna? Yes, but
I
that-
disagree because
No.
look at Sana,
But
that
no,
in that
no.
movie, right? She said initially the plan was to have a prosthetic, to have the ball, and then after she agreed that, you know what, I want to go and shave my hair. So there are options.
Well,
No, but
Even
the thing
now,
is,
if
they're
now
not
I wanted to have
options.
straight hair, I could tell you.
model A and B and C do not
Not
have
have options,
And
yeah.
what she did was very TV-like because it doesn't happen like that. It
Yeah.
really doesn't happen unless you Naomi or those kind of things that could come with your.
So what happened for this
your
one photo
demands,
shoot?
Your demands,
No,
because
what
you're
happened for this one
established.
photo shoot if they wanted her to ball? So she got ball her hair now.
Who
But
that?
you know, I think
One
that
photo
comes
shoot.
against also
The,
where
the,
they
the same
were,
model.
where she was in the model industry. Sorry about that. Like maybe if she was higher up,
Yes,
higher
and
up
that's what
as
I'm
a name, they
saying.
wouldn't have requested
that's what
I'm
her.
saying.
And because she was on the bottom
Exactly,
of the
because
industry,
Yeah.
it's what they want to do. They want to show you that in this industry, a client can ask you to do anything. It's up to you whether or not you're gonna do it. So,
But I
okay,
disagree with that because in this day and age, you have all kind of ways
But maybe
to
a
do
client,
something
maybe
different.
a client says, okay, suppose the client they take another alternative. They sell her, okay, put on the wig for the straight hair because this is the look that we want,
uh-huh.
and they're like not satisfied. So the only other option is we
need to relax our
our hair, or we find
What
someone
happened
else.
in instances where they feel like somebody's modeling a bathing suit and their breasts not big enough? Should I have a
then
breast
they
augmentation?
then they find somebody else.
Well,
to
exactly.
fit
That's
the
what I'm
thing.
saying. So find somebody else.
But then that's her choice, and she has to now stand up and say, no, I refuse
Yeah.
because this is who I am, and she clearly had said that. She said, this is who I am.
Yeah.
But you know, it turned out well for her because she has a documentary now
Yeah.
on here.
Yeah.
She did get
wow.
booking.
That's
And,
awesome.
yeah, so
Talk
and
about
I,
using your
You
opportunity.
feel like she used it?
I
Of
kinda
course.
think
But I mean,
that-
if you see the opportunity, then you might as well go for it.
And it's a good, I mean, if you want to be an advocate for it, you know, because she probably sees the struggle that she went through, and she's like, you know, I'm not alone in this. There are other people
That
who
goes
struggle in
Yeah.
the same thing. So let me
Yeah.
talk about it.
Yeah. But Sabrina, for you, do you see the difference in
What you
like
asking,
hair?
Sabrina? Huh?
What do you mean?
What you asking, Sabrina?
It's obvious.
I wonder why.
Do you see the difference in like hair texture and hair types and stuff? Because I've had someone tell me that they don't see the difference.
If I see the difference,
Yes.
I mean, if I have eyes and I see it, yes, I see it.
But do you know like when somebody is natural and when they have relaxer? Can you tell? No.
I mean, I don't know all the terminology, and I feel like if I see someone with straight hair, I necessarily can't tell the difference between
Okay.
if it was blow dry
Right.
or if it was relaxed.
Okay.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I don't know if that's something
Yeah.
you guys could tell either.
Can you tell, usually?
Sometimes.
Okay.
Yes.
Sometimes.
It really depends.
Yes. It
But
depends.
maybe I
Sometimes these waves are laid so good. I don't even know.
Yes, you don't even know what is
Yeah.
it, if it's a wig, if it's
Yeah.
a weave.
Exactly.
You know?
Yeah,
So I have a
Yo,
confusion.
and the wigs these days. Can I have something?
Ah, yeah,
You
yeah.
know, but point is, everybody here is, you know, beautiful, and
Yeah.
we should just accept ourselves
yeah,
how we are. And
exactly.
if I do decide to change it or not,
It's my
Yeah,
choice.
exactly.
And talking about choices, me and Sabrina spoke last night briefly about this Brett Kavanaugh situation in the U.S. with Dr.
Ford.
Ford. And we watched the testimony. I watched a little bit of her
I watched
testimony.
the opening statement.
The opening statement.
I didn't watch the
and-
whole thing because apparently it was like 4 hours
Yeah,
long.
it
I
was.
didn't
It was
watch
really long.
everything.
I watched a
Like
lot of
clips.
hers.
Yeah,
and
exactly,
I
me
watched
too.
Highlights.
couple
Yeah.
clips of his. Yeah, and it's really well. Yeah, I don't know. It touches. It's a very sensitive topic. I think for women to have to be put on the spotlight and to be doubted about a story that is so personal and to be, you know.
I find it hard that she have to go in front of all of these people and explain herself. Like I was like, you
And I
need
know-
some kind of
Yeah.
strength to
Yeah.
do that. Like,
And you know, I know a lot of people say, you hear a lot of things like, oh, but it happened so long ago.
Yeah.
Even if it did happen, it happened so long ago. But to me, it says a lot about a person's character. Because if you're able to do that to someone, and now you're going to hold a position that legislates and determines certain rights for women, for actually across the board, then
If
you know,
this is how
need
you
to
feel
be
about
questioned.
women,
And this
exactly.
is what you do towards women, then to me, we have the right, and not we, but even American citizens or whoever living in the country, they have a right to question.
and know what happened.
And I can't believe the whole it happened 30 something years ago. How
Right.
much years
I think they were in high
She was
school.
in
So
high
what
school.
she is like, she like, how old is she now?
She may be in her 40s.
Yeah. So it happened a
I
while
don't
ago.
understand why that was taken as a counter argument.
Yeah.
Like, oh, I murdered someone so many years ago.
It doesn't
I'm gonna
matter
get out
now.
of-
exactly, right?
But
As
like,
if it erased your past.
Yeah.
there was also an article that apparently during the hearing they have like a hotline for you know women to call in to basically report stuff like this happening. And they said like not only does it increase in
Right.
times of these, like apparently there's always like a 30% or 40% increase whenever there's a sexual misconduct treatment that it did not happen, because clearly there's a lot of women out there who have had something
But
done
they
to them,
didn't
but
even
they don't
say
report
anything.
it until,
Exactly.
like, 20
Later on,
years
because
later.
it doesn't maybe at that age, because like she said she would see these same guys, like I think she ended up seeing the one that was there, Judd or whatever his name was, and she passed him, but it never sank in until like she started realizing she had anxiety and she needed double doors in her house, and then she started going to a psychologist,
Yes, exactly.
which okay is evidence.
And then I
that-
guess these things come up while in your
Yeah.
discussion as, why do you have these problems with these
Problems,
things?
yeah.
It's because of,
Something that
underlying that.
happened.
Yeah,
And that's the
in
reason
the
why
past.
I believe her, which it really comes down to
Yeah.
do
Right.
believe that story, and okay. But what I believe her because she did tell her therapist about it. She
Yes.
did have the discussion
And she
with
said she
friends
did
years
exactly,
ago.
yeah,
So you
about
wouldn't,
it.
somebody wouldn't keep repeating the same story.
And that's why I'm
if it
saying, like,
wasn't true.
if they want to have the FBI investigation, why not let them have it? Let them speak to these people.
Yeah, and
let them find out the
obviously-
truth.
And what I find I admire her is the fact that, you know, this is of a country level, this is on a
Issue.
country level issue. And so you are willing to tell your story, go be broadcasted on every news channel. So that means that you know the consequences of it. And a lot of the Democrats, of course, and the Democratic women in the Senate, they said, you know, we really appreciate you because you are opening up a door for other women who don't feel empowered to say something. And, you know, so you're here fighting against this, you know, powerful man, or so they claim, and you're ready to take the consequences, whatever those consequences are. So that's why I feel like, why, if you're not telling the truth, would you want to
Put
carry the
yourself
burden
towards
of that?
If I'm not mistaken, she had to move because of the threats.
She said she got in threats and stuff like that.
I mean,
and
it happened also previously with Professor Anita Hill.
Anita Hill.
So we also
But you
see
know,
her.
and I don't know if you guys saw a lot of similarities when you were watching the clips, but a part of me was asking, like, was any progress made? Like, they were
I
still
know.
asking, like, are we gonna ruin this man's life
Like,
because
for
of what
all
we
of the
had said?
Republicans were
And, like,
actually
oh my God, like some of the comments,
sympathizing with him.
Like, and watching that, like, hurt me because,
Yeah.
you know, the Republican men, first of all, they said, oh, is this a Democratic ploy to get rid of this? And
That's
were
what they have it as now.
Oh, I feel sorry that your mom has to hear your name
Yeah.
being dragged through the mud. And I'm like,
That's
dude.
what they try to threaten her, intimidate
Yeah,
her.
intimidate her,
You
so
know,
yeah.
and
And
that's
he's-
incredible courage to do
And
what she
he's
did.
crying on the stand, but he's not defending himself because he's not answering the question.
He's asking the people the questions too. Like, did you smoke? Did you drink? Did
But
you
that showed
drink?
you, I mean, he wouldn't have been my candidate regardless
Yeah.
because of just his stance
Demeanor.
on women's rights
I
and
had
so,
to-
but his whole
Character.
comes out. And this
Exactly.
is someone who's going to be in the Supreme Court until they
Pass away, a
Do you
lifetime
really
job.
want this type
Yeah.
of,
I
you know,
had
person?
to I had to laugh so much because they kept on bringing up the point that he had his calendar to show like that he was, you know,
Busy. He was busy or
that
something.
he
that
didn't go to the party that day. I don't know what it was, but his calendar kept coming up, and they kept making jokes like, is he gonna apologize in his court?
Yeah.
Like if
Yeah,
I'm on
exactly.
trial and if my calendar
Says that I did not assault somebody
But
today.
do you have your calendar from back when you were like 10 years ago? Like, actually, no, I was unavailable that
But do
day.
you put that you're going to assault somebody in your calendar? 10 a.m. Assault this person?
Whenever, just know that if you're in his court and you're being tried,
Then
for
that's an option
Yeah.
for you.
Bring your calendar and make sure
Exactly.
your calendar don't say that.
Ex-
But I don't have murder
On my calendar.
to this day, so
And you know, even the questions about alcohol, like, I mean,
They asked him if he something about if he. how
do
much
you day
do-
drink?
Do
Do
you day drink?
And I'm like, I understand, right? Because I understand in that setting, anything can be used against you in the future, right? If you become part
But
of
how
the
you could
Supreme
be
Justice.
asking somebody
But
else a
I'm
question?
like,
They're asking
they
you.
questioning you. Who the hell are you to ask them?
I mean,
It's
when you get
ridiculous.
somebody with that mindset, I really won't want him to be
For
a
me,
Supreme
at this
Court justice.
point,
I'm done already for that.
at this, if he didn't even do it, the way that he was acting in that
Exactly.
hearing, I was like, I don't want you to be on the
Yeah.
Supreme
Even
Court.
if they
Look how
ask
you
him,
treated-
do you
Yeah.
want to have an FBI investigation? Well, if you guys want it, I'll just.
But, you know-
like, no, yes or no. The man, like, do you want it or not? And,
Yeah.
well, if you
I had
guys
to-
say,
yeah, I had to
"Come
stop
on."
watching it, but I also find a very important part of this whole thing is a lot of people are talking about is Roe versus Wade, and if this is his demeanor and this is his character, how is he going to vote on women's rights?
I think his track record speaks for itself.
Yeah.
You know, and it was already, you know, when Trump, you know, November, what was it?
November, whatever it was,
2000.
a horrible day, and no one wants to.
Yeah, exactly.
remember.
I'm watching the news
Yeah.
for
What
months. I
What
was
were you
so
doing?
depressed.
What were you doing?
I was super.
Well, I'm not too familiar with it, but I know that it is a legislation right now that allows women to have a say over their rights,
Right.
abortion rights. And so basically a lot of people are concerned that if Brett Kavanaugh is nominated or appointed in the Supreme Court, that he can overturn such legislation that allows women to say what they can say about their bodies.
Yeah.
And that
Yeah.
would count for all states, right?
And that would count for all states, I believe.
Yeah.
And
It's so sad that the Supreme Court is so political.
Yeah.
And, you know, it's
Yeah.
totally turn conservative and LGBT rights and those type of
Exactly.
things are
All
also,
those things, even
you know,
Obamacare, healthcare rights.
Yeah.
all of those things that they're trying to repeal at the moment. We were seeing the states finally going somewhere.
Somewhere
Right.
now
And
it's
then,
like
you see them all the way
retracted.
back again. So
Mhm.
that is,
Yeah.
with his confirmation.
Yeah,
you know.
and it's surprising that and that's what we talked about earlier. And I know the cameras were off, but you want men to be feminists too, because of the description that comes along with feminism. It's it's not just a lot of people when they hear feminism, they're like, oh. Men haters and no bra women, but it's more than that. It encompasses the fact that we allow men to be emotional, to be expressive, and because you are expressive, because you are emotional, doesn't mean you are weak.
Yeah.
And also to you, like you said earlier, I don't know if you want to repeat it, what you said to Christian earlier.
What did I say?
I don't know, you say it. I don't know, we were talking about
Right. Well, we need them to be on
Yeah.
our side.
We need them to be on our side,
We
yeah.
can't. It's not a men versus women.
No,
something.
it's not.
And of course, everybody's gonna think that is more superior being, which we think we are.
We are.
But
What about that
we
song?
still-
We are.
God is a woman.
But all jokes aside, we need men to recognize that we, us coming into the room doesn't mean that we take anything away from them, and that they can be them, and
We can be
Yeah.
ourselves.
who we are, and we need them. We need that partnership.
Yeah.
We need
Yeah.
you to be. Sometimes we need to be able to complement each
Yeah.
other. And we're raising girls, but we need the
We-
boys
right.
to also recognize their role,
Yeah.
and we can only do it together.
And I think that gender roles are also on a male side too, because there are a lot of society-based gender roles for males that are not necessarily what it should be. Like they put them in, oh, you fall down, don't cry, get up and
Yeah.
no,
Yeah.
it's okay to cry. It's okay to show emotions, because at the end of the day,
You're
it's okay to
human.
be vulnerable.
You're
So
human
when you
too.
have a vulnerable male, then you also allow women too to be vulnerable in that sense and not seen as weak.
And
Yeah.
that's how I see feminism when I say that, like,
Yeah.
for instance, that I'm a feminist. It's about, I feel like it's breaking gender roles. It's
Exactly.
not because that we're born with a certain gender that we need to act a certain
Certain
way, that we
way.
need to be a certain way, we need to lead a certain life.
Yeah.
It's so restrictive, like, to be able to be tagged on with so much of this baggage.
Yeah.
And, like, women should be free of it, but I also feel like
Men should be free
too.
of it, too.
Yeah,
They definitely
yeah.
need to
And I think acknowledging that is not only on the female side but also on the male side is liberating.
Yeah.
So
Because what happens to a guy a young child who was taught, you can't cry. You can't
Yeah.
do nothing.
Yeah, that's
And,
that's
when he turns
no.
into someone's husband,
Yeah,
how
like,
is he
you know
gonna
what,
deal
that-
with
with
a kid?
that
That's
produces
ridiculous.
men that we don't deal
Exactly.
with, like aggressive, don't know
and
how to
egotistical.
express
Yeah.
Yeah, so
You got to break a glass to
Yeah.
show emotion.
Yeah.
Brett Kavanaugh.
exactly. That is
Exactly.
we
Yeah.
really need, society needs a little bit of a restructure.
Restructure, yeah.
That's what these conversations are about.
So you're raising a son.
I am.
Yeah,
So
tell us.
how is that then? So how do you
How are you
take that
gonna
into consideration
How do
then?
you raise a son
in today's world?
I wish it come with a it really does not. So
Maybe you could write a hammer then.
and every child is also different. So, but I'm very cognizant of the fact that I am raising a boy, and I try to make sure that he has a balance of, I know I'm a strong female, and we have strong females in our family, which a lot of people can relate to. But that he has a good balance of male presence in his life, and that I'm also not trying to tell him, pink is not for you, blue is not for you, and guys, I'm really not about that.
Yeah.
And I just want him to be able to think for himself, and I really guard that, and that he realizes that he doesn't have to fight women, he doesn't have to fight other people, and that I just want to raise a well-rounded young
Human being.
king.
So you're aware of it, and you.
Absolutely.
I
That's
I
good.
actually came one day. I was at a pool and there was a couple there, and the couple had this young kid, and I think the kid was maybe 5 or 6, and there were other kids there, and there was a girl who had a Barbie. So the young boy picked up the Barbie,
And you want to play with it.
and he was playing with it, and the father said, no, put that down. You don't want to play with that.
Oh, sure.
And then the wife was like, come on, like, you
Yeah,
know,
why?
he's just 5. And then he runs off, and the dad's like, no, come back here. Come back here with that toy. Put it down. And the wife is like, why? And then honestly, it went back and forth like that. And in my head, I'm like, you know,
But the
first of
child
all,
probably didn't even notice what
didn't
it
associate.
is.
like, and then the mom is like, you know, he's an only child. He's a boy. He never came across a Barbie before because we don't usually buy
Yeah,
Barbie.
so
So
he's-
he's curious. Like, but you
Yeah.
see the macho man is like,
No.
no, son, come here, put that down. And he's like,
And to me, you know what that teaches him also? That the next time that he sees a boy playing with a Barbie doll, he's gonna make
He's
fun
gonna,
of him.
or
And
judge
that's
him and then be like,
that's
yeah.
oh, that's dumb. And then I think that's a cycle that we create.
yeah.
Yeah, as a society, and
He didn't have to think so much of it that the child pick up a
Yeah,
doll.
but this
And,
is what they are taught. You
Yeah.
teach boys from young. I'm gonna say we because society.
Yeah.
We have to take
Yeah, and
responsibility.
for it, you know, because someday here my son also said, pink yucky or something like that with somebody, another family member, and I'm like, but I never teach him
yeah,
this.
so do you think he learned it at school?
I don't know where he picked it up.
They always say it takes a village to raise
Raise
a
a
kid.
kid.
Yes.
Yeah,
But
it's
you
true.
have to unlearn him. things
Yeah,
that
he learns in school, for real.
I'm not sure if it's at school or where he picks it up because they're very, you know, when he also come home singing, what that song name?
The Kiki challenge. The
Oh,
Kiki
yes,
challenge. That what you
and I
told me?
didn't have that, you know. So these kids pick up so many different things, but they
Yeah.
also learn from not only what you say, what you do, how you act, you know. So you know, it's a big responsibility with these little humans.
So we have a lot on our plate as the younger generation of St. Martin too, because I feel like in our next podcast maybe we could talk about how this parallels into our life here on a small 37 square mile island. So I don't know. I think we have to wrap up now.
Wrap it up.
Wrap it up and let her finish.